Royals baseball comes to you from the south side of Chicago as the long road trip continues with a 3-game series tonight against the Chicago White Sox. Hi everyone, welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Danny Duffy goes to the mound for the Royals tonight. He has been outstanding recently on the road. He's given up just 1 run in his last 32 road innings. And as we look at our Kia Drive to Success HUD, he was outstanding the last time the Royals were here.
We like to call guys like Duffy a road warrior. If you're a teammate behind him coming to the ballpark here today at Guaranteed Rate Field, you are pumped, especially knowing what he did in his last outing against these guys. 114 pitches, he was getting it done. Only 4 hits and zippo runs. That's the whole idea about this game. Hope it continues tonight.
Royals will play their final game in the month of July, and Salvador Perez is wrapping up his best month of the season. Back in Chicago. The White Sox put an end to that last year, and now it's carried into this season. So far in 10 games, the White Sox lead the season series 7-3. A new series begins next. Of comfortable days here in Chicago with the day off yesterday, and 75 degrees with some light rain in the area, which should not affect tonight's game. White Sox take the field, and before we take a look at the Royals batting order, here's our Lowe's whole team together. And after the Royals really struggled offensively from the 1st of June into early July, now over their last 15 games, just a fraction under 5 runs per game, and they've hit 20 home runs. And Ned Yost is still trying to find the right combination in his batting order, with Mike Moustakas being traded. Here's the GMC lineup for tonight. Alex Gordon will bat second. Rosell Herrera will play at third base tonight. Ryan O'Hearn will make his major league debut. He'll be the designated hitter. Brett Phillips will bat 8th. He'll be in center field. And Adalberto Mondesi will bat 9th. He'll be the shortstop. Called to face James Shields with a 4.53 ERA, but he has been at his best when he has pitched at home. And Hud, what's the key for the Royals tonight?
Well, they're going to have to get the big hit off of Big James because he's had a hard time with runners in scoring position. When a runner gets to second base and beyond, the opponent's hitting 320, man, he's going to have to tighten it up. But the Royals continue to get that offensive run support, especially tonight for Duffy. Defensively, the White Sox have not been good, but it's not because of Avisail Garcia. He's been out with some injuries, but this guy's got a nice future ahead. Just 27 years young, he's a good-looking athlete. At first base, Jose Abreu, wow. In 5 years, 130 homers, 469 ribbies, and he's a good target at first base. This guy, he has a pretty good future ahead of him as well.
This will be the 3rd time that the Royals have faced James Shields this year. He's 2-0 against the Royals so far. In the last year of that long-term contract, he's first signed with San Diego after his last year with the Royals. James Shields is now 36 years old. Witt lost a 5-game hitting streak on Sunday in New York. He had 3 stolen bases in that 4-game series. third in the league with 22 this year after leading the league last year with 34.
Shields feels good. He's never felt better health-wise as far as his arm goes. He's had some issues the last few years. One of the reasons of his success, that's a high pop. Doggone it.
And it's Abreu making the catch.
Nothing worse. Now, Whitley likes to swing at that first pitch sometimes. He usually does a lot with it. His first pop-up we've seen.
Alex Gordon digs in a milestone game for him. This is his 1,500th game in his big league career, which is 6th all-time in Royals history.
And he gets to hit second in the order tonight.
Now, before all the shifts, Alex Gordon would be a perfect #2 hitter. Get a leadoff man on. You've got a big hole on the right side with the traditional defensive alignment. The first baseman is holding the runner. The second baseman is at double play depth. But even with a runner at first, there's nobody on right now. That the game has taken that advantage away from the typical #2 hitter.
Yeah, and the fact that being the left side of the batter's box gives the base stealer ahead of him, Witt or whoever it is, some protection from that right-handed throwing catcher. $1,500 games, all with the same team. Don't see that very often.
2 balls, 1 strike. Down in the right field corner, but hooking foul. StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
And the place he hits it the most, there's nobody there. How about splitting the shortstop and the second baseman right here? Or get it up and give Duffy a lead. Alex has had some success against James Shields. 9 for 35 with 1 homer.
Three balls, 2 strikes. And got him looking at a fastball.
James Shields, at his age and his experience, is one of those guys that's creating stuff as he goes along. He invents, he's like a painter. He's been able to paint the corner there, but he's also being creative. He's a long time in the game. His 30-year pitching coach for the White Sox, Don Cooper, said he wants to continue his career after this year. He wants to keep pitching, and there's no reason he can't.
If Salvador Perez wants to bunt, the White Sox would probably think that's a great idea. And he's smiling down at third baseman Yolmer Sanchez. They've got an overshift to the left, and they are playing deep on the infield based on what Salvy's been doing lately at the plate. He did not go around. Will Little is the first base umpire. Salvy's hit in 7 straight. And during that 7-game hitting streak, he has 4 home runs, 8 RBIs. He has 19 RBIs in his last 16 games. Shallow right field. And Avisail Garcia is there to complete a 1-2-3. Top of the first inning. Danny Duffy takes the hill for the Royals tonight. a 6-game homestand. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Blue Jays. They are a season low 31 games under 500, and most of their problems have had to do with their pitching. Here's their GMC batting order. And HUD told you Avisail Garcia is back from the disabled list, so we didn't see him the last time we were in Chicago. And here's Danny Duffy, who is already making his 4th start of the season against the White Sox, and he was outstanding the last time we were here.
Certainly was. You see that ERA, that's 4.7, and it was 6.88, so he did a lot of work. The first pitch, base hit. He's done a lot of work to get that down.
Tim Anderson is on to begin the bottom of the first.
Royals scored around the horn defense. Going to highlight Brett Phillips. Phillips is an energetic player with a lot of range in the outfield. He's had 31 starts with Milwaukee in center field. Now Herrera, you mentioned he's a third baseman today. Fun to see him. He's got quick feet, and he's played over 400 games there in the minor leagues at third, so he's accustomed to that position. Be fun to watch him play. There's Phillips. 2 very athletic players.
Now the switch hitting Leury Garcia. .285 overall, but he's one of the best in the major leagues against left-hand pitching. One ball, one strike. He and Whit Merrifield on our Toyota League leaders. Garcia's at .368, third best in the American League, right in front of Whit, who's hitting .367.
Yeah, he's done a nice job, and he's 6 for 18 off of Duffy in his career. It's .333 average.
Changeup is outside. 3-1 on Garcia. He's also had a solid season against the Royals, and it's a pretty good sample size. 10 games, .485 average, 8 driven in. For the versatile Leury Garcia, that's at the knees. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He can play on the infield, he can play in the outfield, and he's a switch hitter.
You know, in the modern game today, those players' stock are on the rise. Versatility is the key. Really, more so in the National League.
Anderson's running. That's a strike, and that's a man out at second base.
Quick release and plenty on it. He's one of the best in the world. Add to that 43 percentile of throwing would-be base stealers out. Anderson, late break. Looks like it was probably a little hit and run action there. That's what that looked like with 2 outs. As he got a late break, and Salvi had plenty of time, as did Mondesi, to apply the tag.
Very interesting. He would be running as passively as he was with 2 strikes in the count.
He didn't get a break till Duffy was throwing the ball home.
Now you can run like that if it's 3-2 and 2 outs.
Right. That was interesting. Double play the hard way.
Two 2-0 on Jose Abreu. He was voted to start the All-Star game this year for the American League. First time in a long time that a White Sox player has been voted in, as in 22 years. You got to go back to Frank Thomas in 1996 for the last Sox player that was voted. Hall of Famer Frank Thomas.
2 guys very similar in size. Now Abreu, I mentioned it, in his 5th year, putting up some some Hall of Fame numbers, but he's 31. If you're going to make the Hall of Fame, you got to play 18, 20 years at least.
And he's played on some bad teams, so he doesn't get a lot of national notoriety, but he is in very elite company. Jose Abreu, Albert Pujols, and Joe DiMaggio are the only players in history to begin their career with 4 straight 25 home run, 100 RBI seasons. And he reaches out and hits one into center field, and he's on with 2 down. 3 guys in the history of the game.
Yeah. No, he's been fantastic. He spent a lot of his youth in Cuba, though. Look at the curve. There it is. That's one of the keys, but he reached out. That ball was 4 inches off the outside part of the plate, way back, and just slugged it through the middle. I mean, slugged it. Hit velo was probably pretty high, though.
That'll bring up Abisail Garcia, who's dealt with a lot of hamstring problems this year. Duffy throws a fastball right by him. Garcia's coming off a career season and was hoping to build on that this year, but he has been on the disabled list twice with right hamstring problems. Duda makes a nice play on a short hop and steps on the bag to end the inning.
Duda can. Make his major league debut as the designated hitter tonight, and as you could expect, very excited for this moment. Joel Goldberg down by the Royals dugout and talking to Ryan this afternoon, former 8th round draft pick of the Royals in 2014. He's pumped up, understandably. He said that he found out on Sunday, so he had plenty of time to travel. Yesterday he got in, immediately seeing familiar faces with so many young guys up, went to dinner with Hunter Dozier, and now his family is here today. His mom Christine, his dad Tom, his older brother Michael, his younger sister Caitlin. They're there behind the dugout in the front row. And guys, if you're looking for a scouting report, I asked Vance Wilson, who managed him in Double-A, and he said he's a baseball player. He wants to win, and he is intense. And I said to Vance, intense like Mike Moustakas? And he said, I hadn't thought about it that way, but yes, that's a very good comp. Very intense player. Vance said, I'm glad that he's here.
And as the designated hitter, he's got a lot of time in between at-bats, for better or worse.
Well, we were showing him while Joe was talking, and you know what I see there? I see a lot of nerves, and he's masking it good with his gum. But to make your debut as a DH, you don't have any chance to go on the field and run off your butterflies. There's a lot to it. Good luck to him tonight. It won't be easy.
It's the second time in the last 3 batters that Shields has gotten a strikeout with a fastball. fastball taken for a strike. So here's why Ryan O'Hearn is here. Brian Goodwin injured himself running the bases in the nightcap on Saturday in New York. He has a left groin strain, so he goes on the disabled list. And now Rosell Herrera. He got his first major league home run on Sunday at Yankee Stadium. Good changeup. No balls, 2 strikes. He had 7 hits in the Yankees series, and over his last 7 games, he is hitting .400, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And tonight, we're going to get a look at him on the infield.
Yeah, no, that's great. I was able to watch him take his ground balls and pregame workout. And certainly no trouble. He totally understands the infield. Talking about with Joel in the pregame show, Joel and Monty, about footwork and how important it is.
Off speed again. Shields has struck out 3.
James Shields, he's going to trick you. Looks like he's used a little bit of mixture so far early of fastball. There's the changeup, and he's using much more of that this year.
And with a great deal of success. The league ripped his changeup last year and hit over 280. And he didn't throw it very often. So you would think the solution would be don't throw that pitch because the league is on it. Well, he is throwing it more this year and having better results.
He's healthier. Monty was telling me before the game. And we talked to Donnie Cooper about him. Great idea. Wouldn't you know, he hit it right at him.
6 up, 6 down for the Royals against James Shields. Matt Davidson, the White Sox designated hitter, will lead off the bottom of the 2nd inning. Our Kubota Power Stats. Boy, he's had a season against the Royals, and that began on opening day when he hit 3 home runs. He also has a couple of 2 home run games. But against the rest of Major League Baseball, he's hitting 195. Duffy misses up and in.
And that was such a great first game that it got in the mind of Danny Duffy enough to where Duffy thought that he was tipping his pitches. And that kind of threw Duffy off for the start of the season. And I think one of the reasons why he got up to a slow start was because they got in his mind. He couldn't imagine why a guy, what he was doing
giving up home runs to this guy. He just thought they were on him. And he went from the stretch, then he went from the windup, and then stretch again, and then finally he figured it out. He went back to his heater. That fastball. And it's been good.
There's the heater. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Davidson. So 412 with 7 home runs against the Royals, 195 and 8 home runs against everybody else. And look at the difference in slugging percentage. Over 1,000 against the Royals and 354 against the rest of the league.
Yeah, it was amazing series he had.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Working ahead is the key for any pitcher, but for Duffy against this young man here, now he can, that's one pitch there that he gets. Get him to waste a pitch, maybe to get him to chase. Doesn't have to come in there yet. There's the other one now. 3-2. We'll see what he decides to do here. Duffy has some deception to his delivery, which is important for timing, to throw off the timing of the hitter.
A leadoff walk. Danny's had a nice run over his last 12 starts, chipping off points of his earned run average, but he had a little bump in the road on Wednesday against the Tigers, giving up 7 runs in 5 2/3 innings. Also had a couple of wild pitches. The big hit in that one, remember, was a Jose Iglesias 3-run home run, which was just a bolt out of the blue. Tigers ended up winning that game 8-4. 1 ball, 1 strike on Yoan Moncada, who's a much better hitter from the other side of the plate. And he's a strikeout candidate. No swing. Only Joey Gallo of the Rangers has struck out more times this year than Moncada. And that's low. 3 balls, 1 strike.
That's one of the things that they'll work with on him. He's such a young player. This is his second year in the big leagues, and they're trying to see exactly what kind of player he is, and so is he. He's trying to figure out who he is. Just hitting 176 with 1 homer off of lefties. Good rip there. Duffy definitely wants to pitch to him here. Don't put another man on there. Make him earn it. And he could roll him up. Put him in the lane.
Fastball up and away. Duffy strikes out his second.
Duffy and Salvi, they know the numbers of these guys and what they're hitting, who's hot, who's not. So you certainly want to go after him. A hitter hitting well under 200 from that side of the plate. Good job. Way to come back and get him.
Here's center fielder Adam Engel. Slider's a little bit high. Back with a curveball. During Duffy's recent surge, the fastball is probably the pitch that's most responsible, but right behind it is Duffy's curveball, which he had gone away from for 3 seasons and would throw it every now and then, but was basically fastball, slider, change, and working with Cal Eldred on the side. Cal Eldred said, "That's a good pitch. Why aren't you using it in the game?" Well, he's used it 157 times this year, 113 the 3 years prior to this.
Yeah.
So far tonight, it's been his fastball, and he overpowers Engel for his 3rd strikeout tonight.
I like the word, or 2 words, overpower. I mean, that's exactly what he did. You want to do that to the 8 and 9 hitters. Go right after those guys. That fastball is so difficult to hit. A lot of pitchers that are in the American League that don't get a chance to hit all the time don't really understand how hard that is to hit. Plus, above average Major League fastball. You got to be just right on it. Best hitters in the world that do it every night can't hit it too. But the guys that have lower averages and are hitting down in the order, those are the guys you want to attack.
Yolmer Sanchez, switch hitter. He has been slumping lately. Gets jammed, and that's down for a base hit. So that feels good for a guy who was 2 for his last 29 before that at bat.
Oh, it feels really good, and I'm not surprised. He always hits us well. But you're right. You're in a slump like that. If your first time up, you're like
get jammed.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, and you know it didn't break the bat either. He says, now I'm going really good.
So 2 on, 2 out to the number 9 hitter, Omar Narvaez, who has been anything but that lately. .290 overall, but his game really picked up in early June, right around the time that Wellington Castillo was suspended for violating MLB's performing enhancing drug policy. And the White Sox catchers have stepped up since he went down.
It's the name of the game. Take advantage of your opportunity because you want to stay. This is a good place to make a living right here, and he's really focused on his at-bats, not wasting any, and he's saying, this is my opportunity here.
I'm going to say that's a swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lance Barksdale is the umpire at 3rd. Best OPS by a Sox catcher in 1 month. Narvaez is working on the 5th best. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So as I said, not hitting like a number 9 hitter, and he's probably hitting 9th tonight because Duffy's on the mound. Since June 1st, he has the highest batting average in the major leagues, .391. Still 2-2.
Yep, he can hit a fastball, but you know, one of the reasons he's down low is because he's only hit 185 off of left-handed pitching, but he certainly can hit a heater. 39.8% line drive rate on fastballs, and Duffy still, like I said, 7, 8, 9 hitters. Go ahead and challenge him here. We're sweeping away with that breaker.
Has a good fastball tonight. He has struck out 4, and he strikes out the side in the bottom of the 2nd, all with his fastball. Dream come true is happening right now. Ryan O'Hearn is about to get ready for his first major league at bat. Mom and dad are right behind home plate.
Look pretty calm for a lot of parents that we see kids making their debut.
He was impressive in spring training. Start talking about young guys that made an impression on the big league coaching staff. He was one. His numbers are not great on the surface, but when you start peeling back layers and looking at other numbers, Royals are happy for the most part with the way he has swung the bat. His exit velocity has been very good. He's hit into some bad luck. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, you know, lots of times when we talk about first impressions, those are so huge. Not only when you meet somebody for the first time, but when a manager sees a player play for the first time, you have a chance to really get inside of that manager's mind. And that's what he did in spring training.
That is a fair ball just inside the bag, and now race to the base, and Shields gets there right in front of O'Hearn. And now Mom can breathe a little easier, at least for another 20 minutes or so.
Good hustle. He almost beat it out. The Royals and Price Chopper are excited to feature the Grand Slam 4-pack, perfect for your family. This ticket package includes 4 seats in the View Reserve section, plus 4 Royals caps, all for just $44. Head to your local Price Chopper to purchase this exclusive deal. Good for most Sunday through Thursday home games.
One out to Brett Phillips. Outside for ball 1. Brett made his Royals debut on Sunday in New York and was 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch, but he made a great play up against the wall in right field. Going the other way, and Garcia is there, 2 down. If the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. Here's a pretty good candidate right here, Adalberto Mondesi. He lost a career-high 8-game hitting streak on Sunday afternoon. Still had 5 hits in the Royals-Yankees series. Oh and 1.
He looks a lot more polished this year with a bat in his hand. We haven't seen him bunting quite as much as he did last season when he got up here. And really, he looked overmatched when he would swing. This year,
Swinging at a lot fewer bad pitches.
He is here. He's not chasing. Now, he should still be bunting. At least show it once a game. Because that way it pulls the corners in. They know his dynamic speed. It's going to open up the field for him to slash ball by him. So, you know, that kind of speed, his bunting ability, he can't shelf that totally. He's got to keep that in his repertoire.
Shields strikes him out, and James Shields has set down the first 9 Royals with 4 strikeouts. played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Royals have a quirk in the schedule that, as far as I know, nobody has ever seen before. The Royals will come here 3 road trips in a row. They were here last road trip leading into the All-Star break. This road trip, and after the next homestand, the Royals will come to Chicago again. And then that's it.
Wow.
Off of Duffy, ricochets over to Herrera. So that's his first try of the game. 1-5-3. Duffy looks over to the Royals dugout and says he's all right.
Where did this hit him? Oh, off his glove. Yeah, now he's hoping he makes the play. Herrera's first play, I loved it. Used 2 hands, shuffled his feet. Nice play. Duffy wanted to catch it, couldn't quite get his glove there in time, as that ball was probably hit at 100 miles an hour. But I liked Rosie's play. Shuffled his feet nicely. Talked about the importance of footwork. He knows.
One out to Leury Garcia, who was on the front end of a strikeout throw-out double play in the first inning. He struck out looking, and then Salvador Perez threw out Tim Anderson. Out in front, 0-2.
Managers that face left-handed pitching like to put right-handed bats in there. And that's because that ball coming in is a little bit easier to hit, and the third baseman, shortstop usually get a lot of action. So this is a good opportunity for Rosie's first start. And he told me before the game he's excited, but he's under control. He said, this is a chance for me to show them that I can play. Good pitch there.
Got him with a breaking ball, and that's Duffy's 5th strikeout.
Nice breaking ball in the dirt. Very effective against right-handed bats. Hitters get out in front, they hook it down the line. I guarantee you Rosie's probably hoping that they bunt on him. The White Sox have a few bunters. That gives him a chance to show off. When you're hungry like that, and you have that mentality as an infielder, when you're going to get a lot of action, hit it to me, that's the best thing to have. Confidence. It means you want the ball, so when it's hit to you, you don't lock up and everything gets stiff, especially your glove.
Abreu single to center in the first inning. When Herrera first arrived in Kansas City, I asked him, of all the positions, which ones feel the most natural? And he said shortstop and center field, 2 premier positions. Good pitch over the inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He is a natural shortstop. That's what he was in his first 4 or 5 years in the Rockies organization, but he had Trevor Story in front of him. So the Rockies moved him from shortstop to center field in 2015, and that's when they realized that not only can he play the infield, he can also play the outfield. Salvi throws down to first, but Abreu will reach for the strikeout and a wild pitch. That's Duffy's 6th strikeout, but there's a man on with 2 down.
Breaking ball again. Salvi went to the backhand side, and you could see the urgency. He went back to the screen because he was a little bit shocked that he missed that one. He wanted to get the out for Duffy in the worst way. He's got excellent hands. He's got soft hands. Sometimes He'll miss with his backhand. Not very often.
Garcia grounded out to Duda in the first inning. One ball, one strike. Good fastball in on him. Garcia couldn't get his arms extended. 1-2. Two balls, two strikes.
Duffy wanted it. Ooh, see where Salvi caught it? See where actually the end of the break was? That was in the strike zones where he showed a little body language. Just like we talked about in the open, for a key for Duffy against the White Sox, whom he faces a lot in the same division, is, you know, mix him up a little bit more. Throw that breaking ball. It's been really good. That's why he's been doing it. A field pitch that feels good. Get some results on it.
And you got to be very careful if you throw a breaking ball to this guy. And so far he's kept his breaking ball out of the strike zone. There's one that's down, a good pitch. And Mondesi is there for the last out. Duffy has 3 scoreless innings to match James Shields. He's a subject of our sprint trivia question. He is one of 11 pitchers to make a start for multiple teams in the World Series since 2000. 2008 with Tampa Bay, 2014 with the Royals. So, Hud, who's the only pitcher since 2000 to start for 3 different teams in the World Series? Avisail Garcia runs out of room, and you got to be careful in this ballpark with that low railing. Since 2000, one pitcher has started for 3 different teams in the World Series. 2-1 on Witt. He swung at the first pitch of the game and fouled out to Abreu at first base. Jake Peavy had a couple. I don't think it was 3 though.
Go ball.
Engel onto the warning track. 1 down.
Not quite enough. Shields making his pitches.
Kurt Schilling, a couple.
Verlander, maybe? No?
2.
How about Cueto?
1.
Okay. How about Hamels? He got traded just now, but maybe had one.
But just 1, just with the Phillies.
Since 2000.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Pettit had Yankees, Houston, maybe. Houston. Was he in the World Series then?
Well, that was 05 when these White Sox beat the Astros, but that would just be 2 teams. 3 teams.
Man, that's toughy tonight. One guy though, I like that, not multiple.
Wide open on the left side. Shields tried to pitch Alex away and actually ended up striking him out looking on a pitch away, and this time Alex was thinking the other way, and he's the Royals' first base runner tonight.
That deserves a Mo lottery replay. Yeah, look at that. Now that's 6 inches off the outside part of the plate. Hitters can hit pitches that are not on the plate. It just goes to show you. We saw Abreu hit a Duffy curveball 5 inches off the outside of the plate earlier tonight. If you have an aggressive mentality and you want to shorten up your swing and not try to hit for a homer, you can put the ball in play. I liked it. Nice swing.
One on, one out. Salvador Perez flied out to right field in the first inning. 0-1.
Terry Bradshaw, he liked that swing by Alex. Bradshaw was a hitter in his day, and he's a pretty good hitter. He'll tell you, it's all about the mentality, what you're trying to do. Good swing by Alex to set the table up.
Three pitches, all breaking pitches, and Shields strikes out Perez, and that's Shields' 5th. A lot of strikeouts. Shields has struck out 5, and Duffy has struck out 6.
Mo lottery replay. Shields knows that Salvador Perez has been scalding hot lately, and he also knows from watching him he can turn on a fastball, so he has been giving him nothing but off-speed pitches. Salvy's falling for him. He'll have to make the adjustment of laying off of those pitches, and then he'll stop throwing them. Take a walk or so. Look at Narvaez.
That's setting up inside.
Did you see where he was?
I was thinking the same thing. There is setting up inside, and then there is really setting up inside.
Speak probably a visual, because a pitcher sees a catcher like that on the just on the inside part of the plate. If he misses in there, Duda, we know what he can do. So he's way in there saying, you know, make sure it's way in.
Two and 0.
Okay, there's a shift in the numbers, 34%. There's nobody there. Go ahead. Although Lucas wants to get one elevated. Get it out of the park.
Out to shallow right field, and Moncada will end the inning. One hit, one left. No score to the bottom of the fourth. Good start for Danny Duffy. 3 scoreless innings, 6 strikeouts.
Raring back. Love the breaking ball. We talked to you about the importance of that pitch in the open of our show, and that's exactly what he's doing. Working it. But having a plus power fastball certainly helps that pitch a lot.
White Sox have 3 singles and a walk, and the walk was to Matt Davidson, who also led off the second inning.
Filling up the strike zone.
1-1 on Davidson.
So hitters love the fastball because it's straight, and it's a little bit easier to make contact on, and they don't care really how hard it is thrown. Some of them say harder the better. It's those breaking pitches, those pitches that move, that give them fits.
Shallow right field. Bonifacio slides, and the ball skips by him. And Davidson, who doesn't run well, will stop at second base with a leadoff double.
Duffy appreciates the hustle on this, no doubt about it. He had a beat. He got a great jump on it, but at some point when you read that you can't get it, he tried to keep it in front. See how his glove was up, but not up high enough. Got to keep that ball in front of you. Good effort. And he tried to keep it in front. Sometimes Can't control the bounce. So the effort was there.
Moncada takes a strike. Duffy struck him out swinging in the second inning.
You would think with a leadoff double like that, that Moncada would say, you know what, I'm struggling against lefties. I'm going to try to do the job. And that's that. It's to try to get him over. Look at Bonifacio, man. He's all over it. He really gave an effort on that one too.
Fastball. Moncada down again on that pitch, and Duffy has 7 strikeouts in 3 1/3 innings.
Power fastball, top of the zone, 94, looks good for the split second a hitter has to make a selection, but it's by you.
Adam Engel takes low. Duffy struck him out with a fastball in the second inning. Curveball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. Engel in some ways is like Matt Davidson. His overall numbers aren't going to knock your eyes out, but he's done really well against the Royals, and right on cue he lines it into center field. 1 hop to Phillips. The White Sox are aware of his arm, so Nick Capra, the third base coach, holds Davidson at third. And now runners at the corners with 1 out.
Engel, 218 hitter against southpaws. That pitch is exactly where Duffy wants it, down. So Engel, good swing. Got to give him some credit. Good athletic judgment there by Phillips. He waited. He knew he couldn't come in with a runner in scoring position there. He played that nicely. Let the ball bounce. Keeping the double play in order.
Inside on Sanchez. Duffy jammed Sanchez in the second inning, but Sanchez blooped one out into left center field for a base hit, giving him just 3 hits in his last 30 at bats. Just inside. 2-0.
Salvi, there's the double play right there. The double play sign is the changeup. That's the one he wanted to swing at.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's the changeup. Gets the hitter out front. If it's down, he tops it, then pulls it to the left side. Too bad. Sanchez read it. Now here comes a heater.
Four-pitch walk. So that loads the bases for Omar Narvaez. That's Duffy's second walk tonight. Narvaez was a strikeout victim in the second inning. So Davidson doubled, Engel singled, Sanchez walked. Curveball's high. Bud was talking last time Narvaez was up that he can hit a fastball. That's why he's hitting over 390 since June 1st. But he was late on that one.
A little tardy. I think Duffy's put the curveball in the back of Narvaez's mind. That's why he got beat there. Playing him pretty much straight up on the infield. Double play depth. See Merrifield there.
Fastball again. That was not a strike. 1-2.
Well, at third base with Matt Davidson there, maybe a high fastball. It'll pop him up. Maybe a shallow fly ball out there. Won't be able to score Davidson, who's not that fleet of foot. Maybe that's the plan.
Stayed with a fastball.
Never know.
Well, Duffy's clearly beating him with his fastball. So do you go old school and you just stay with that pitch until he proves he can do something with it, or do you assume that he's going to cheat and start looking for a fastball and throw him something with a wrinkle in it?
He's going to cheat, hook him out of the zone away here. Get him swing and miss. Ooh, he stayed with it.
Fastball to third. Rosell to the plate. One. Salvi to first.
Nice.
Double play.
There you go. Rosie, sure-handed, made sure of one. That's what you want to do. Get the out. And he stayed with the heater. He jammed him. That was in on his hands. They want to check it, but they can check it all they want. Salvi got him, I believe.
And they will challenge.
It was a lot closer than I thought it was. Salvi clearing the lane for himself, getting inside the runner so he didn't hit him with the thrown ball. Due to get that ball in the back of his webbing first.
I think he got there. However, the out the Royals did record prevents a run. They got Davidson out at the plate.
Foot down.
Right there, foot down.
I could tell.
What is taking so long? Okay, so it's a 5-2 fielder's choice. Davidson out at the plate. And now Engel at third, Sanchez at second, and Narvaez is at first.
Still excellent play by Rosie, not panicking. Knew that he had time, made sure of himself. That's the important thing there in a situation like this. One out for sure. And both plays that Rosie's made in a Royals uniform at third base, I liked how he used two hands. He was fundamentally sound on both of those pickups.
tight. Ted Barrett is the home plate umpire and crew chief. Anderson single to right first time up, grounded out, and one of those plays HUD was talking about in the third.
Can we say happy 50?
No, we can't.
I didn't know if that was proper.
I'm just kidding.
Ted Barrett is celebrating a birthday today, until 12 o'clock. 53 told me. I said, well, a lot of hitters want to hit a homer or they'd like to get a base hit. What do you want to do? He says, I want a timely, quick game and no foul tips to the mask. Oh, he almost got one there.
The Reverend Theodore Edward Barrett.
Duffy has a chance to get out of the inning right here. Runner at second base, Salvador Perez is going to scramble the signs, going to put down a whole bunch of them. So the second base runner can't relay the sign home. Ooh. Got away with one there. That's right in the middle.
In the air to center. Phillips gets turned around, but he is there. A nice adjustment by Brett Phillips. And with some help from his defense, Danny Duffy gets out of a, at one point, bases loaded, one out jam.
Speed is a beautiful thing. Well pitched ball game so far. Boy, Duffy was on the ropes, man. The White Sox had him, and he got his pitch, Anderson. And there was a little hesitation right first there by Brett Phillips, but look at that. Wow, 65% catch probability. Well, look, he made it look easy. With that type of speed, he made up for the fact that he had to read the ball to see how far it was hit. He hesitated maybe a split second, maybe a whole second before he even moved on that one. But he took a perfect angle. Great route.
Herrera playing at third base for the first time for the Royals. Struck out on a changeup in the second inning. And there's another one from Shields, and it's 1-1. Herrera, Bonifacio, and O'Hearn coming up.
Shields giving Rosell the steady diet off-speed stuff. He saw what he did in New York. He saw his first home run, and it was scouted there by the White Sox. They knew exactly what was up. They know how Salvador's been squaring the ball up, so he's been getting a lot of off-speed stuff.
Cracked his bat. Moncada throws out Herrera. One down in the fifth. Let's revisit our sprint trivia question. Name the only pitcher since 2000 to start for 3 different teams in the World Series.
I think at least we should guess Pettit. At least now.
What was the third team he played for?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
He played for the Yankees, the Astros, and went back to the Yankees. So that's 2 teams.
Okay, so then that's not it. Thanks for the strike. Nice talking to you.
Got 2 outs to go. I think we should know what the 3 teams are, because I thought, well, let's just look at the teams that have been to the World Series since 2000. Let's start there. It ended up being a pretty long list.
How about
of just making an appearance? How about who?
Randy Johnson? Diamondbacks?
Right. Pitched for the Yankees.
Seattle and the Expos.
Seattle has never been to a World Series.
Nope.
Neither has the Expos. Here are the teams. Kevin Cedergren's going to help us out.
No, he's not. No, he helped us last time. That was a good.
He's retired. 3-2 on Bonifacio. 2 American League teams and 1 National League team. Now, Kevin did say he's retired, and then he said, I guess technically. So it could be someone who isn't playing right now but hasn't officially retired.
Well, how about Jamie Moyer? Did he pitch in the World Series? He had a long career.
Well, he spent most of his really good years with Seattle, and they've never been to a World Series.
No, he pitched with the Phillies.
Phillies, okay.
He pitched with the Cubs. He pitched with the Cardinals.
Okay.
Take the walk.
Now Shields first. You want to try Jamie Moyer?
I don't know. I don't think he had 3 of them though.
Is he a lefty or a righty?
Hey, okay.
He's a righty.
All right. So why don't we shift gears? I was thinking lefties. O'Hearn's looking for his first hit while we're thinking right here. Let's go. Come on. Let's think positively for him. Pick out one and drive it over the fence. Why not? First big league hit.
He was the Royals' 8th round pick in 2014 out of Sam Houston State, and he had an impact right away. That same year, playing for Idaho Falls, he was the Pioneer League Most Valuable Player.
There
Right
it is.
Field, deep. Garcia's at the wall, and Ryan O'Hearn's first major league hit is a home run.
That's outstanding. Oh, there's nothing better. Oh, congratulations, O'Hearn family. You are in the big leagues officially. With a big fly off James Shields.
And I'm assuming, Hud, he will always remember the day He will always remember the pitcher, and now Phillips hits a shot, and a great play by Moncada. He'll remember the pitch, but I bet he'll remember very little about running around the bases.
I would agree. Look, he caught it. It was a curveball. Good, easy swing. Look at Salvi. Salvi yelled right away. As it had enough height, it was drifting. And look at his family. That's so special. It's like Rosie. Rosie hit his first 2 days ago, and now O'Hearn. I hope he got the ball back. I didn't stay focused on the ball.
I think it landed in that patio area in front of the seats, so it should be pretty easy to run down. Two nothing Royals in the fifth inning. 1-1 on Mondesi. Two balls, one strike. O'Hearn's had some big home run seasons in the minor leagues. I mentioned when he was Pioneer League MVP, he had 13 that year in just 64 games. That was a short season. In his first full season in the minor leagues, he had 27 home runs.
Yeah, you know, I'm not so sure. You know what they're doing since everybody's signing it? They're pretending that they got the home run ball and they're playing a joke with it. This is what's done typically in the majors. They pass it around and everybody writes something on it, and sometimes it's not exactly flattering. And so you give it to the kid, the rookie, and you go, here's your.
Put this on your mantle.
Yeah, we found your ball, and he looks at it and he sees all these things on there that were written. He's like, his stomach just drops. He's like, oh no, it's not my ball. You guys ruined it. That's what they're doing, I guarantee you. They're messing with him.
He becomes the third Royal all time to hit a home run in his first major league game.
One of those balls is the real ball, I'm thinking, and the other one is the deke. Oh no, they're trading that person for, he's giving 2 for 1. Nice deal.
So the moral of the story is, forget everything that HUD just said about what they were doing with that baseball. But Ryan O'Hearn and we will never forget that swing. to smile about, and that's Ryan O'Hearn joining Clint Hurdle in 1977 and Mark Quinn in 1999 to hit a home run in his first major league game. It was his second major league at bat, and he gives the Royals a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the fifth. And now Duffy's going to get an out on one pitch. He should. Merrifield and Duda bump into one another, and Leury Garcia is out number one. So much for the challenge of being a DH in your first major league game.
I was just going to say, I mean, you know, he did it as a designated hitter, and that's amazing. But it was a curveball, and when the overhand spin of the curveball, you don't have to really tag it good. He caught it just underneath it, and with the overhand spin, it takes off even further when you catch the underside and you keep the spin going, the rotation. So that's why it takes an easy swing, and you can hit a home run on a curveball easily. That's what that was. Well done.
Inside on Jose Abreu. Mondesi gets a big hop. 2 outs.
Help us celebrate the Royals' first World Series title with the 1985 World Series Champions replica trophy giveaway presented by Old Dominion. The first 15,000 fans to the gates on Saturday, August 11th, will receive the replica trophy before watching the Royals host the Cardinals at 6:15. Visit Royals.com to purchase your tickets.
Two down in the fifth to Avisail Garcia. Duffy's done a nice job with his fastball tonight, not just getting strikeouts, but keeping it out of the middle of the plate. And when he has missed out of the strike zone, like he did with that fastball to Garcia. And his breaking ball just missed outside. 2-0. Herrera, that was a wicked hop, and he got caught in between whether to charge it or to lay back. He tried to lay back on it, and it skipped by him.
I'm through with Rosie at third now. Just kidding. That was a vicious 2-hopper. Maybe it's 3 hops. Let's see it. 1, 2. It's a 2. It's going to eat him up right here. Watch out. And he did the right thing. You know, typically you don't want to get your face in front of that ball. He olayed it and got by him. That's a hit. 106 with topspin is not easy.
So it scored a hit. And now a strike on Matt Davidson. Davidson has walked and doubled. He had a leadoff double last inning, and eventually the White Sox loaded the bases with 1 out, but Duffy got out of that with a ground ball and a force at the plate, and then a line out to center field, and a nice adjustment and a play by Brett Phillips. Popped up a mile high. Mondesi is the first to arrive, and he's got it. Danny Duffy has 5 scoreless innings, and he's allowed just 1 run in his last 37 road innings. second major league at bat, has a 2-run home run. Bud, you saw our correct answers first World Series start as a rookie.
When he was the youngest player or pitcher ever in the history of baseball to win a Game 7 of the World Series. That's right, I was there. And I had a hard time guessing him. So give the truck that one.
Yep.
For some reason I thought it was a left-hander, but it was Big Bad John.
Avisail Garcia inside the line gets Whit Merrifield. He's 0 for 3. 1 out in our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Laurie Rowe from Pleasant Hill. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Laurie wins $100. And if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Laurie wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Alex has struck out and singled to left. What's wrong? John Lackey?
Yeah, I have to move past the trivia.
That's a tough one. I mean, because he wasn't. I wouldn't call him a headline guy on either those Red Sox or Cubs teams.
No, but I knew he was a 3-time world champion, but I just couldn't pick him out. You're right, because it wasn't a big standout type name, although what a career, huh?
2-0 on Alex.
Another Texan in the same mold of, not Nolan Ryan, but I mean, Kerry Wood. Ooh, man, nice swing.
Well hit. Alex Gordon's 2 out of 3.
All right, speaking of Alex, good timing. Cheer on everyone's favorite Gold Glover, Alex Gordon. In his reserved fan section, tickets are just $35. It included your seat in left field, a Gordo Big Head, and a premium Gordo Nation t-shirt. Don't miss a chance to cheer on Gordo every Thursday home game. Get your tickets now at royals.com/theme tickets. Alex tells me that's one of his favorite Thursdays of all time, when he has a section out there. And he's 2 for 2, by the way, tonight.
I've got a little local connection for you.
Alex
in regard to John Lackey.
Okay, let me just recorrect myself. Alex is 2 for 3 with a strikeout.
I'm glad you're able to recorrect yourself.
Yeah, I needed to do that.
When John Lackey won Game 7 of the World Series, he was the first rookie to win Game 7 of a World Series since Babe Adams. And Babe Adams is from Mount Moriah, Missouri, right outside of Bethany. And if you drive on Highway 136 from Bethany to Princeton, you'll drive through Mount Moriah on the Babe Adams Highway.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Down on strikes. That's the second time that James Shields has struck out Salvador Perez on 3 pitches. And now Shields has a big strikeout game. He has 7. They're 2 down in the 6th. Babe Adams, though, you got to go back to 1909 with the Pirates. So no rookie had won Game 7 of a World Series between 1909 and 2002.
Oh, I thought John was the one and only ever, but apparently not. Still impressive.
In the American League, how about that?
Yeah. Impressive, though.
Ball 1 on Lucas Duda with Gordon at first base, 2 down. This is game number 11 for the Royals since the All-Star break, and Duda has driven in 11 since the break. Three and 0.
I say green light, but I'm nobody important. But Duda can turn on a fastball and give Duffy 2 more runs right here. Heater's coming. Look for it middle in. One middle in. Wasn't where he wanted it.
Did that body language suggest he was taking, or he would have swung?
No, he looked like he was going to swing, but it wasn't where he wanted it. 3-0, a home run hitter, not going to swing just to swing. He's going to look for it in a certain place. Now he's not going to get it again. We'll see.
That's about all that he could do with that pitch. That was way in and off the plate. It looked like Shields' cut fastball.
Had a took a little something off, but he's still looking to turn and burn in there. Narvaez, he can feel it. He had to tell his teammates 3-2. Alex Gordon will be running the plays at first base if the ball stays in the park. Curveball or off speed.
That's ball 4. Walk number 2 allowed by James Shields.
That's a little respect from Duda right there. 4 Duda. Big opportunity now to get James Shields in an area where he's been hurting this year. That's giving up the big hits with runners in scoring position. .320 opponent average. That's 6th worst in MLB baseball in a situation like this. Too bad.
Moncada backhand. Herrera got that one down around the end of the bat. So Shields gets around the single and the walk. 5.5 played. Danny Duffy and the Royals lead 2-0.
For the win pitching line, we're seeing Danny Duffy. 5 innings, 6 hits. He's gotten out of a big jam. No runs and a couple of walks, 7 strikeouts. He's on top of his game. Look at the breaking ball. We talked about the importance of that pitch before he even threw a pitch. Using his defense, getting the swing over the top of it. So far, so good. pitch breakdown so far. Look at the fastball. He's filling it up, and that's making the curve look even better.
Good looking change up there. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was what is referred to at times as the Bugs Bunny swing. Moncada was corkscrewing himself in the batter's box before the pitch even came out of Duffy's hand.
That Ryan O'Hearn first hit in the majors, home run, gave him 2 runs, and Duffy, he's smelling it. I like it. He's executing his pitches, holding that lead. Young Ryan O'Hearn, wow, you're a big leaguer, man. You got a 1 page in your home run book. On his first hit.
Now, this is not one of the ballparks where there is a batting cage available right behind the dugout. Most nowadays there are. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So that can be a nice tool to stay loose in between at bats, but a hitter can also wear himself out in the batting cage in between at bats. Moncada takes a leadoff walk.
That's an excellent point. The White Sox, under their dugout, they have a cage under there. The Royals do not. And so he's not going up in there swinging. He might go in there and swing, dry swings in the clubhouse, but there is not a cage where he can't make contact with baseballs.
Here's Engel with a runner at first.
So I would say not a good park to be a DH in if you're young and you're a rookie.
So you'd rather have the cage?
I'd rather have the cage.
Okay.
So I can swing, because he's got plenty of energy. He's not playing defense. But I'm impressed with his feet.
Now he's sitting next to Hunter Dozier, and Hunter is one of the now 17 designated hitters that Ned Yost has used this year. And Hunter, and it's different for every hitter, but he said that he did better in the minor leagues when there was no cage, because you know, one of the points of being a DH is you get half the day off. You don't have to be out there on defense. And because there was no cage, he felt like he was more relaxed in the dugout. He could just watch the game and just kind of focus on what was going on in the field.
I like it.
Instead of thinking, well, am I taking enough swings? Am I taking too many swings? And now at the major league level, to your point, you know, it's just tempting to, with all that idle time, to go in the cage and perhaps, you know, think yourself into a hole.
It's a good point.
That's 2 in 1 inning. Alex makes a play on Engel, and Moncada's back to first with 1 out. Students, join us at Kauffman Stadium every Wednesday for a new low price of $5 with your student ID. You'll also enjoy a happy hour special at the Boulevard Grill concession stand as you listen to live local music. And come check out our next local band, Grand Marquis, Wednesday, August 8th. Royals.com/student night for the full list of bands and for tickets. Grand Marquis.
Yeah, we had student day last Wednesday. It's getaway day.
If I remember the story correctly, remember Marquise Grissom?
Yes, teammate of mine.
Okay, Montreal.
Young rookie.
I believe he was named after the Grand Marquis.
In Atlanta?
He came from a big family, and I think his dad worked for, is that a Ford Grand Marquis or a Mercury Grand Marquis? Anyway, his dad worked at that factory and always thought that was a cool name. And by the time Marquise was born, they were running low on names, and that's how he got his name.
That's awesome.
There you go. There's your one Marquise Grissom story this season.
Thank you. I'd like to see him again. Ask him about that. Had a pretty good career too, by the way. That's pop. He could hit and he could run. Played center field.
Bonifacio comes sprinting in from right, and that is a foul ball catch. Sanchez is out, 2 away. Danny Duffy is up over 100 pitches, so Tim Hill and Kevin McCarthy getting ready. McCarthy made his big league debut here at U.S. Cellular Field, back when it was U.S. Cellular Field, now Guaranteed Rate Field. Runner at first, 2 down for Omar Narvaez. But is it a good thing when the sponsor of the stadium, their logo is an arrow that's pointing down?
The first time I saw the name and I looked up there and I saw that, I thought that that was a little derogatory.
Yeah.
But that's for the rate, a low rate is what
Right.
that is. But it is derogatory in my opinion, since you asked me. But when I saw that first, was last year? Was the first year of this name?
I believe so.
Okay. Hosmer, I was on the field during batting practice, and we were looking at it at the same time, and I told Hosmer, that's a perfect name for a hitter. Guaranteed to rake field.
Well, it's a great symbol when you're looking for a rate on your mortgage. Fouled away by Narvaez.
Yeah, as you pointed that out, I could see it.
But I think when you're on the field, you want to imagine that arrow pointing up.
And being green. Green grass.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Duffy's at 109 pitches. Trying to work around a leadoff walk. He has allowed 1 run in his last 37 road innings. Most of the time we're talking about how well a pitcher pitches at home and struggles on the road, but for Duffy it's the other way around. And I would imagine if you asked Danny or Cal Eldred why, they'd probably give you the Miguel Cabrera answer. I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said when you asked him why he was struggling against lefties last year?
Yeah, I did. You know, and that's exactly. He looked at me with a puzzled look on his face, and it's almost like, "Can you give me some advice?" No, I have no idea.
Moncada runs and Narvaez takes outside, so Duffy has walked 2 in the inning. And here comes Ned Yost. 112 pitches. And the top of the order coming up, Tim Anderson, who has singled and lined to deep center against Duffy. And Ned wants Kevin McCarthy. So Danny did a nice job.
He always will look at the home plate umpire, tip his cap.
So here's McCarthy, a Chevy call to the bullpen to face Anderson. There's a story behind that, and we'll tell you when we come back. Our minor league spotlight is on Richard Lovelady, a Royals 10th round pick a couple of years ago. And last season, splitting his year between Wilmington and Northwest Arkansas, was outstanding in 41 games. And since July 1st at AAA, his ERA is 0.55. So he's moved quickly. Danny Duffy departs with 2 on, 2 out, and Kevin McCarthy made his big league debut here 2 years ago, coming in the middle of an inning to face Tim Anderson. And now here he is, 2 on, 2 out, coming on to face Tim Anderson. In that first game, Hud, he got Anderson to ground out to third. The next night, he was called on to face one batter, Tim Anderson. Struck him out, and the Royals rallied in the next half inning, and that's how he got his first big league win.
So Tim Anderson saying, oh man, not this guy. And what it is, it's heavy sinker. Slider change. Out again.
Herrera. No, he did not make the play on the fly. The Royals will probably challenge.
It's all right, they get him at first.
And Anderson never left the batter's box. So he and Herrera both thought that Anderson was out on the fly.
Well, I thought he caught it cleanly myself.
Inning over.
Duff, way to go. Before we know, but man, it's amazing that we can witness a Royal do that in his second major league at bat. His first hit, he touched the ball.
Danny Duffy went 5 2/3. Kevin McCarthy got the last out of the bottom of the 6th inning. And now James Shields back to work. And the White Sox, interesting. Nicky Delmonico takes over in left field. And Leury Garcia, who is in left, goes to short. Bonifacio pops it up. And Abreu wants it. He's got it. Coincidence, Rex Hudler or not? And Tim Anderson just made the last out of the bottom of the 6th inning. He did not leave the batter's box on what was ruled a live ball. Well, he does not go back out for defense in the next half inning.
Well, Anderson did the, I mean, really, it was a line drive. He caught it. Watch this. In fairness to him, he knows and fielder knows. Look at it. There was leather under that ball, but it was ruled a no catch. But see, look at Rosie. He's saying, I caught that. And I don't know if Renteria would do that, but he is a disciplinarian. At times, he has that in him. He's got a young team. I don't know if that was the reason. We'll have to ask him tomorrow if he pulled him for not hustling or running the ball out. I just think that Anderson saw a line drive catch.
But I saw, and you saw, and everyone else saw, the third base umpire, Lance Barksdale, immediately ruling safe.
Then I'm going to go.
Live ball.
If I'm the runner, I'm going to take off if I see that.
Yep.
To make it look good. So it's to your point. We'll have to find out. I think Barksdale's back was to, or Herrera's back was to where Barksdale was looking over it too. It didn't get a good look at it.
Change up and away. 3-1 on Ryan O'Hearn, who hit a home run in his second big league at bat. James Shields got him to ground out to first in the third inning. And then O'Hearn hit a 2-run home run in the fifth, becoming the third Royal to hit a home run in his first big league game, joining Clint Hurdle and Mark Quinn. Quinn hit 2 home runs in his first big league game.
The mighty Quinn.
And now O'Hearn is on with a 1-out walk.
Fans, help us celebrate the historic 2015 World Series Championship with a Gold Threads replica jersey giveaway on Sunday, August 12th, presented by Fox Sports Kansas City. The first 15,000 fans through the gates will receive the giveaway before rooting on the boys in blue when they host the Cardinals at 1:15. Tickets available at Royals.com.
Brett Phillips, that's deep to right field, and Brett Phillips' first hit as a Royal is a home run. Ryan O'Hearn and now Brett Phillips have hit 2-run home runs, and the Royals have a 4-0 lead.
Don't pass O'Hearn. He is right on his heels. Look at O'Hearn. He's like, wow, he's right on me. Great stroke. Similar. Looked like an off-speed pitch. Let's see it again. It was. On similar pitches, he caught the back underside of that ball and just kept it spinning out of the yard. Congratulations on your first hit as a Royal. Brett Phillips. Nicely done.
Strike on Mondesi. So for O'Hearn, it was his first big league hit, period. And for Phillips, his first hit as a Royal. Fouled away, and it's 0-2.
Oh man, look at this. I think that was James Shields that grunted on the pitch. 36-degree launch angle. Plenty behind it.
Shields has given up 20 home runs this year. That's the shortstop Garcia over on the right side. So 20 home runs this season allowed by Shields, and 120 home runs going back to 2015, the most in the major leagues over that span.
How about that little sample of power?
Merrifield with 2 down. Shields is way outside with ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. Shields gave up 3 home runs in his last start against the Angels on Wednesday. He's given up 3 or more home runs 3 times this year. He's given up 2 tonight. Two and 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. And now Witt lines it into center field, and that's his first hit of the night.
He roped that one right over the shift. There's a heater. Whitley worked himself into a good hitter's count, and he earned that fastball, and he earned a hit. Squarely struck.
And here's Alex Gordon. He has 2 hits tonight. This will be Shields' 100th pitch, and they're beginning to move around in the White Sox bullpen. Shields is 36 years old, and there's a lot of wear and tear on his arm. If he was known for anything in his career, probably 2 things: his intensity and his 200 inning seasons. I almost guarantee every year he took the mound for a 9-season span, and that was 07 to 2015. All those years, not only did he pitch well, 200 innings all 9 of those years, but over the last 3 years his ERA is over 5, and he hasn't thrown more than 180 innings. Witt dives into second base. He's safe, and that's his 23rd stolen base of the year.
Go ahead. Nice jump. Good focus. Whitley's got a good lead. Excellent takeoff. Head down, full speed in a couple steps, and he's in easily. Narvaez has thrown out 21% coming into the game, the catcher. He stole that on James.
And now Witt's 3rd, and just 2 behind the leader, D. Gordon.
You know, I like Whitley's chances of possibly going back-to-back in steals. I like it because of his on base, the way he gets on base. He's walked more this year than he has last year. By far, 41 walks. And he's getting on base. He'll steal second, but he loves stealing third. On base percentage of .368. He's getting on. He's going to steal.
That's Luis Avilan warming up. He's also had a little spike in his stolen bases recently. That's Witt's 6th stolen base in his last 8 games. The time of year when guys are starting to wear down with the length of the season and the hot days. Two and two. Alex has 2 hits tonight. 1 to left, beating the overshift, and 1 to center field. The defense is all set up for Alex to roll one on the ground to the right side, but Shields hasn't been able to get Alex to do that. Slow breaking ball, 68 miles an hour, and that's Shields' 8th strikeout, but the Royals get another 2-run home run. This one from Brett Phillips, his first as a Royal. Ahern has his first big league hit. It's a 2-run home run. Brett Phillips has his first hit as a Royal. That's a 2-run home run. 4-0 KC. Celebrate 50 seasons of Royals baseball at the Royals Charities 5K Retro Run Walk on Saturday, August 18th. Run on the field at Kauffman Stadium, plus get a retro t-shirt and a free ticket to a game. Sign up at royals.com/run, presented by Fox Sports Kansas City and Price Chopper. Kevin McCarthy came on and got the last out of the 6th for Danny Duffy. And now he'll get the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Larry Garcia will bat left-handed. As a right-hand hitter against Duffy, he was 0 for 3. Danny Duffy, by the way, made American League history tonight, Hud.
He did?
Yes.
Oh. Tell me. Tell us.
Herrera playing in and shows off his arm. He throws out Garcia, 1 away. Make sure I have the details correct, but Danny Duffy tonight became the first pitcher in American League history to have 6 consecutive road starts, allowing 1 or 0 runs over that stretch. Wow. And just the second pitcher in Major League history. Roger Clemens.
On the road.
Who obviously did that when he was with the Astros.
Wow.
Back in 2005.
Impressive.
Danny Duffy, the first pitcher in American League history with 6 consecutive road starts, allowing 1 run or fewer, and for him it was 1 run. 1 run in 37 2/3 innings in the same season.
I like it. Didn't we call him a road warrior to begin? I mean, maybe there's another term we'll have to use for that. A road record breaker. Congratulations.
2-0 on Abreu. To the gap, and that'll go all the way to the wall. Abreu is 2 out of 4 tonight. He's at second base with 1 out. There you go, in the live ball era. So since 1920, 1 run or fewer in 6 consecutive road starts in 1 single season. Only he and Roger Clemens in Major League history.
Wow, man, that's really cool. That's
Worth a handshake.
Yeah, a lot of congratulations given tonight. That's a major feat right there. And most of the time, you'll see a pitcher's statistics aren't favorable on the road. More times than not. Salvador Perez took the foul tip. Ted Barrett on his birthday is going to walk him out there and let him walk off his little owie. That's what they do. They protect one another. Ted Barrett does not have any favorites, but when I was talking to him today, I asked him about Salvador Perez and what it's like working with him. Yeah, that hit him right on the kneecap. And he said that Salvador Perez is a breath of fresh air. He cares. He has respect. He uses his manners, and he's a gentleman. I said, are they all like that? Oh no. Some catchers aren't fun to work with.
Broken bat, and that'll twist foul and bounce back into the crowd. Ted Barrett has an impressive resume. He was a college football player. He is an ordained minister. He was an amateur boxer who once sparred with George Foreman. He had a career record of 36-6, including a loss to Riddick Bowe when they were both amateurs. He has been behind the plate for 2 perfect games. David Cohn's perfect game and Matt Cain's perfect game. And also Greg Maddox's 300th career win. He was behind the plate, and also behind the plate when Irvin Santana threw a no-hitter.
Wow. Pretty impressive resume, and he can add to all-star umpire behind the plate. It's past all-star game.
Oh, 0-2 on Garcia with a new bat. Pickoff play at second base was close.
McCarthy, perfect throw. That's what Whitley's telling him. Great throw. They almost got Abreu. Check it out again. Good timing here between Whitley and McCarthy. McCarthy didn't even look. Look where he put that ball. Right on the base. Ah, excellent try.
That's a swing. So Garcia strikes out, 2 away in the 7th.
So, you know, Whitley, he's played enough at second base here in the last couple of years, and McCarthy's been around for a couple of years to get to know each other. Some relievers or starters are comfortable throwing around the bases, picking off. Other guys aren't.
Who usually initiates that play?
Well, the fielder does, because the pitcher's got too much to think about.
No, I mean, so
he's going to get his attention. Whitley is going to say, hey, and he has a sign he'll give him. They either go to the belt or they go behind their ear, they tuck their ear, or something that knows that the play is on. We got a chance to pick him off. But some, back to my point, some pitchers aren't comfortable doing that. So an infielder has to know who's comfortable picking off and who's not. And usually in spring training, you work enough PFP and pickoffs around the bases to figure out who likes to pick off and who doesn't.
Now sometimes the catcher's involved too, right? Because the catcher will do something to let the pitcher know now's the time to turn and throw to second base. He came up and got Salvi.
Yeah, but usually it's the infielder, and I had played middle, shortstop, and second base before. No, I know the runner and how far he's getting off, and I know we can get him, so I'm going to initiate that. Pitcher and catcher combination. Sometimes the catcher might. I'll initiate a throw behind with the catcher, but usually that's done between the middle infielders and the pitcher. But the whole key is knowing who can do it. And that throw by McCarthy was perfect, and he didn't look back, so that was a timing play. Usually it's 1001, 1002.
Which begins when he comes set?
Comes set, yeah, and he looks home, 1001, 1002. Uh-oh.
Deep to left field, and Matt Davidson is homered against the Royals again. He has hit 16 home runs this year. Half have come against the Royals, and now it's a 4-2 game.
Sinker that didn't sink. Look where this is. It's right there middle. Davidson's a strong young man.
Another Chevy call to the bullpen. It's Tim Hill to face Yoan Moncada. Most against the Royals all time in a single season. The most, Brian Dozier. A couple of years ago hit 11. And speaking of Dozier, there he is in a Dodger uniform. Some big names moving before the trading deadline. Chris Archer to the Pirates, Brian Dozier to the Dodgers, Wilson Ramos to the Phillies, and Jonathan Scope joins a bunch of former Royals with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, some interesting moves. Milwaukee going in on the offense. They still haven't got that starting pitcher that they wanted to get, but their offense is plenty good.
Royals want Moncada to bat right-handed. 1 ball, 1 strike against Tim Hill.
With Dozier going to the Dodgers, they have a hard time and have the last 2 years against left-handed pitching, the Dodgers. So Dozier's going to supply a nice little right-handed bat for them.
So we don't have to worry about him
Nice.
anymore this year. Logan Forsythe was the player that went from the Dodgers to the Twins. Last year, the Dodgers were rumored to have been interested in Dozier. They didn't trade him away, and it's a good thing. Minnesota ended up making the wild card game. Ooh. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh well, you're going to miss 1 or 2 sometimes. Right down the middle. And Ian Kinsler going to the Red Sox.
Last 2 pitches, Tim Hill thought it was a strike, and he took a step or 2 toward the dugout.
Just keep feeding them in there, feeding those heaters, filling up the zone with strikes. Don't put anybody on.
Slow roller to short. Mondesi, strong arm, and throws on the run to get Moncada. But the White Sox get a 2-run home run to cut the deficit in half. Kansas City is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. Weather's been great in Chicago. Royals lead 4-2 to the 8th inning. Tomorrow, Jacob Junis, who's from Illinois, will be going up against Dylan Covey. Night game tomorrow. Coverage begins at 6:30. First pitch at 7:10, and then Thursday is an afternoon game. And then the Royals head to Minnesota. Luis Avilan, who was warming up last inning, he'll come on and get Perez, Duda, and Herrera.
Avalon, he's been good. 252 opponent average. 35 strikeouts in 30 innings. Whenever you have more strikeouts than innings pitched, tells me you got a special pitch. You're a strikeout guy. It's not overpowering. So he's got a little finesse in him, but although he does go low to mid 90s, that's plenty to get hitters out with his off-speed stuff. Change, curve.
Here's the change.
Yeah, he owns a 1.59 ERA and 150 opponents average over his last 10 games. So Avalon has really done well. Salvi has seen nothing tonight but off-speed pitches. I don't know if he's seen one straight fastball.
And if he did, it probably was not in the strike zone, just to show it.
So far, 2 breaking balls here.
Good spot. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mentioned earlier that most of the White Sox struggles this year have been pitching and defense. And if you really break it down, they've had some big time bullpen problems lately. Off speed again. It's the 3rd time that Salvi has struck out tonight as the White Sox pitching him very carefully. White Sox just went through a brutal month on the mound. They had the highest ERA in the major leagues, 2nd most home runs allowed. And look at that bullpen ERA in the last month, almost 8.
Well, it hasn't been Avalon.
.69-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Duda is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Royals got a 2-run home run from Ryan O'Hearn in the 5th inning for his first big league hit in his 2nd big league at bat. And then Brett Phillips got his first Royals hit, a 2-run home run in the 7th. One ball, 1 strike.
Both off starter James Shields. He did a nice job. There's a left-hander there that Duda's had success off of right here.
.69 miles an hour. And Engel makes the play.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Royals app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Royals home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
And now Rosell Herrera as a right-hand batter. And he goes down and pokes it into center field. He has a base hit. He is 1 for 4 tonight. Playing in his first game at 3rd base for the Royals.
And looking good. Change up. He just stuck it out over the middle of the plate, just how you want to hit a pitch like that, not try to pull it. See how that top hand did not roll. His bottom hand was dominant on the swing, kept it in the middle of the park.
Jason Hamill is getting ready for the bottom of the 8th inning. The White Sox have the lower 3rd of the order coming up. Oh, and 1 on Bonifacio. He's going through a little struggle at the moment. He is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight and a run scored. But just 4 for his last 38. So suddenly his batting average is at .218. He has not driven in a run in his last 11 games. He walked with one out in front of O'Hearn's home run in the 5th. Looked a little bit inside. 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes.
You know, Bonifacio, he has 10 walks coming into today's game and 85 at-bats. That's not too bad, but he's awfully aggressive. He knows he wants to hit, and he can hit. Just hasn't really gotten that good hot groove yet. And he missed, you know, Howard made the first half of the season, and he's wanting to catch up in the worst way. He looks a little bit too aggressive at times, and for a young player who wants to impress with the opportunity he's given, sometimes it's almost better to take, be a little bit more selective.
Herrera, he got a great read. I think he read that pitch was going to be in the dirt before it went in the dirt. So he moves up with 2 down.
It almost looked like he was running on the pitch. You know, he moved up a base in New York on a bouncer that was really impressive. That's what you want to see. Guys staying aggressive. Yeah, he read that.
Thinking along with the pitcher, anticipating a ball in the dirt.
Exactly.
Still 2-2. Learning the scouting report on a certain pitcher still applies when you're not in the batter's box. Knowing his tendencies come in handy as a base runner.
That's right. And you get those by watching in game from the dugout what the pitcher is doing to your hitters. Instead of running down and looking on the video how you looked in your last at bat.
Three and 2. Bonifacio gets on. Ryan O'Hearn is on deck. Still 3 and 2. It's a right swing right there with a pitcher throwing at that velocity. And Bonifacio is trying to shoot it up the right field line. And I think Avilan, if he could have it his way, would want Bonifacio to try and pull him.
That was a nice swing. He can get another one, lay it out there, pick up a run. Avilan's in his 5th year of Major League Services. He throws like a crafty lefty. Really good at mixing up his pitches.
He pulled that one and foul into the second row. Now they're going to get together and talk about what they want to do with Bonifacio. So the entire infield wants to know what's coming so they can align themselves accordingly.
So Bonifacio's thinking right here. 3 and 2. What's he going to come with here? I'm going to think up the middle and react. Runner in scoring position, be aggressive.
Change up away, strikes him out. So the Royals strand Herrera at second base. Jason Hamill will get the bottom of the 8th. The Royals lead 4-2. Capital. That is Daniel Murphy against his former team, hitting a 3-run home run. That gave him 6 RBIs. A 13-0 Nationals lead at the time. The final score was 25-4.
Wow.
Over the Mets.
Blowout.
And in the span of 24 hours, the Nationals were back to 500 and 5.5 games back. There was some talk with Washington saying that Bryce Harper was available for a trade, and then Mike Rizzo, their general manager, came out today and said he would not be traded. And so that's how they responded. 25-4 over the Mets. In that same game, by the way, Ryan Zimmerman became the all-time hits leader for that franchise, which goes back to the Expos, passing your buddy Tim Wallach, who had been the franchise leader.
Fantastic. Eli is okay with that.
Base hit right field. Adam Engel. Adam Engel and Matt Davidson are otherwise not having very good years, but they seem to be at their best against the Royals.
That's right. Hamill. Fastball over the middle of the plate. Engel went with it. You know, though, the Nationals, they're due to take off, and something like that can happen, can give the team some energy and some momentum. Now that they know that their general manager says we're all in, he's not going anywhere, I believe in these guys. Remember the 16 Royals, how they were worried about getting traded? Remember the deadline? And then once the deadline passed, you know, they were like, all right, no one wanted to leave. And they started playing baseball. I believe that the Nationals can, they're a well-talented team.
They're 5.5 back, but they're 5.5 back of, or at least the teams in front of them are playing really well, but they're young teams who are not expected to be this good this soon. And you think, well, the Phillies, I mean, they've been really good recently.
Yeah.
So have the Braves, but this is not those Braves and those Phillies. These are completely different players. And so in history, sometimes those teams will fade over the past couple months, and the team with experience will rise to the top.
57 left. Plenty of time. And
One ball, one strike on Sanchez.
Maybe the Phillies and Houston are like the 15 Astros. You could see it coming. Had a lot of good talent there, but just wasn't quite ready yet.
Both those teams are adding players. Engel runs. He got a good jump. And he swipes second base. Sally really didn't have much of a chance to get Engel.
No, Engel, he's got one really good tool, and that's his speed and his defensive ability. So he has two excellent tools, and one of the reasons why he's still here, he's working on the hit. Hitting usually is the last thing to come.
Three balls, one strike. Just to finish the thought, the Braves in the past few days have added Johnny Venters, Brad Brock, Darren O'Day to their bullpen. Adam Duvall, they got another bat from the Reds. Kevin Gossman, another player from the Orioles. That's a strike, 3-2. Phillies have added Asdrubal Cabrera, Wilson Ramos. And they also got that lefty from the Blue Jays, Aaron Loop. Big pitch. We'll do it again. Danny Duffy went 5 2/3. Kevin McCarthy went 1 inning. He allowed the 2 runs on a home run by Davidson. Tim Hill went 1/3 of an inning, and now Hamill in the 8th. Base hit right field. Engel was freezing on the line drive, so he advances to 3rd, and now the White Sox have runners at the corners and nobody out.
Fastball middle. Got to hit your spots. Bottom of the order. And Narvaez really good against righties. 262 average with the runner in scoring position. Nobody out.
Breaking ball is outside. Narvaez is 0 for 2. He was the last man to face Danny Duffy back in the 6th inning when he walked. And now Willie Peralta's warming up, and warming up in a hurry. Two and 0. White Sox scored 2 runs last inning to get back into the game. They were down 4-0. So it took them 7 innings to break through against the Royals tonight. And now they have 1st and 3rd and nobody out. 2-1. Both teams have had trouble this year scoring late. So scoring against the back end of bullpens. The Royals have scored the fewest runs in the 7th inning or later. The White Sox the 2nd fewest. And that's not the Royals' way. Usually that's when the Royals were scoring, tying games, taking the lead in the later innings. called strike, 2-2.
They were beating the opponent's bullpen.
Look at that guy. I don't know what he's got going right there, Hud, but he's got some lime green shorts. He's got some sort of a Transformers mask on.
He's a Bulls fan.
Yeah, he's got a Bulls t-shirt, and he is leading a chorus of one behind third base. That looked like a swing, and it was. Big strikeout for Hamill.
I think Narvaez was thinking a little bit there. And when you take a swing like that, he wanted something different, but he couldn't control his hands and couldn't check swing.
Nicky Delmonico bats for the first time. He came on defensively in the 7th inning, we think, after Tim Anderson did not leave the batter's box for the final out of the 6th inning. Anderson made the last out in the bottom of the 6th inning, not leaving the batter's box, and then he did not return to shortstop in the 7th. One and one.
Hamill's a fly ball pitcher, but maybe, just maybe, he could get Delmonico to hit the top of the ball right to Whitley. Get out of the inning with a double play. Never know. Keep it down. See what happens.
Engel started the inning with a single, then he stole second. Sanchez singled to get him to third, and then Hamill, after falling behind in the count to Narvaez, came back and struck him out. And now he's 1-1 with Nicky Delmonico. Popped up, and Escobar makes the play and then bangs into the railing. Feeling the pain of running into the railing. He's limping, so I don't know if he rolled an ankle, but he had to run hard, Hud, because it wasn't hit very high, and then had to stop as quickly as he could because he knew that that railing and that fence was quickly approaching.
Yeah, let's take another look at it here. He looked down once, twice, 3 times. He knew where he was, and that's important. And we couldn't put the brakes on, and I believe it was his right toe. Could have been his knee. Let's see where his right foot hits.
And then he just kind of skid on his spikes.
Can't hurt him.
So first and third, nobody out, is now first and third, 2 down. And the batter is Leury Garcia.
This is the guy you want here, even though he's not an easy out. 392 coming into this game with a runner in scoring position.
No balls, one strike. But I get your point, because the guy on deck has more zeros in his salary, and there's a reason why.
Right, and a lot more numbers in the home run category.
Oh, and 2. Remember reading Whitey Herzog's book, You're Missing a Great Game, or something like that was the title, and the question was asked, how did you decide what pitcher or what hitter that you wanted in there with the game on the line if all things were equal? And he said, the guy with more zeros
That's right.
in his salary. Just got a piece of it. That's just another way of saying the guy who's more accomplished, the guy who has more experience. Fouled off of Salvi, and that hurt.
Ball called right up his arm.
Salvi blocks it and not tempted to throw down to second base. Well, this is what Hamill was trying to avoid. That's why he kept throwing over there. Sanchez has stolen 10 bases. He's trying to keep the tying run out of scoring position. Sanchez, just like Herrera an inning ago, got a good read on a pitch in the dirt.
He did, and Salvi with his arm would have had to make a perfect throw to get him. He didn't want to gamble.
And Garcia strikes out. So Jason Hamill works himself in and out of a mess in the bottom of the 8th inning. The White Sox had runners at first and third and nobody out, and they come up empty. family, and they have seen Ryan's first big league hit tonight in his debut. A 2-run home run in his second big league at bat back in the 5th inning.
Oh, pretty special. 359 feet, exit velocity 95.9. So we've seen a lot more with a higher hit velocity, but he caught it just right.
You'll see a lefty this time, Jace Fry. Breaking ball bends in for a strike, and Ryan walked with 1 out in the 7th, and he scored on Brett Phillips' first hit as a Royal, and that was a 2-run home run. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jace Fry is the White Sox 3rd pitcher tonight. The Royals scored all 4 of their runs against James Shields. He went 7, and then Luis Avilan pitched an 8th, scoreless 8th inning. Three balls, 1 strike. Ryan handled himself well in AAA against left-hand pitching. He hit .271. And just kind of reading up on him in his professional career, that was an issue earlier in his career, but something that he's improved the last couple of years, becoming more balanced against righties and lefties.
Well, he's facing a lefty that has a sinking fastball, big curve.
Borderline pitch. So Fry begins his outing with a strikeout. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Brett Phillips was thinking about a bunt. He is 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run. A no doubt 2-run home run.
Same pitch. And off of the same pitcher, James Shields. Curveball caught just underneath it.
Oh, and 2.
Fry's difficult. He's got a little 3/4 arm slot delivery. A little arm angle can really present difficulties for left-handed batters. Batter wants to pull his shoulder. Ooh, good pitch.
Two down.
Couple of breaking balls, let the hitter know you have it, and then paint the black. Jace Fry, he's fairly new on the scene for the White Sox, just 25 years old.
He is a 2-time Tommy John surgery survivor, having had it in college when he was at Oregon State, and then had it a 2nd time 3 years ago. And he's been a strike throwing machine in this inning. It's 0-2.
He's got to be proud of his alma mater, huh?
Wow, that was impressive.
Also,
it'll be Abreu, Garcia, and Davidson against Willie Peralta.
9th, and we'll be on hand to talk about this game afterwards. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, Boulevard Royals Live coming up. A swing to remember in front of family. What a way to start Ryan O'Hearn's big league career. Plus Brett Phillips going deep for the first time as a Royal, and Danny Duffy, history on the road. We'll talk about that here from Ned Yost, and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Ryan?
All right, Joel, we look forward to that. And we also hope for a refreshing save from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. And Peralta's 5 for 5 in save opportunities. He also had a save opportunity where he had to come out and was saved by Brandon Maurer.
Yeah, he was. Good stuff. Mid to upper 90s. You see there some 98 overhand curve and a changeup. A little bit of experience and a lot of confidence. Says he really enjoys the role, wants to keep it.
One and one on Abreu. He has 2 hits, and he scored on Matt Davidson's 2-run home run in the 7th inning.
That fastball at 97 and 98, that's a weapon. You see how that blew it by him on the outer half of the plate? Don't throw him anything soft. He might speed his bat up. Just keep it away from him if you do. Yeah, it was out of the zone.
Abreu, Avisail Garcia, and Matt Davidson. Three and one. Well, the old school thinking would be he just threw a fastball right by Abreu. I mean, threw it by him. And now the last 2 pitches have been breaking balls. So you stay with the pitch until he proves he can get around on it.
As a closer, but you know what though? They know more than I do. Salvi's calling him.
And now Avisail Garcia. 1 for 4 with a single. So let's see what he does now. Just overmatched Garcia with his fastball. Well, the good news is Matt Davidson will not come up in the 9th inning, but Daniel Palka's had a heck of a year against the Royals this year. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, he went with a breaking ball there, and that buckled Garcia.
Because he was thinking the same thing. I looked bad on a fastball, and he's going to come back with that same pitch. He was guessing and fooled him.
Yeah, I say the old school way of thinking. You stay with a pitch until the hitter proves that he can hit it. And not that I wouldn't necessarily call this new school way of thinking, but then the mind game comes into play. All right, is he going to try and cheat on this fastball, so do we need to change speeds on it?
Yeah, you read a number early when Garcia came up today. He's slugging .678 on breaking pitches, best in Major League Baseball.
So if you're going to throw him one, you need to throw him a really good one.
Yeah, he just missed one there. 0-2. Might try a high heater. Let's see what Salvi does.
On the ground to Witt, out at second, and a double play.
Well, they got away with a curve in the middle. Sometimes it works, and it's a good thing for Peralta. He'll take it.
That's why we're up here and they're down there.
That's right. Two-hopper. Whitley had a little trouble getting it out. Wow, a little slide out of the baseline a little bit there by Abreu. Coming after Mondesi. I liked it.
So it'll be Daniel Palka with the tying run on deck. He has 10 pinch hit at bats this year and 2 home runs. That's impressive for anybody, but especially a rookie.
Believe it. 2 pinch hit homers in 1 year with 57 games left is pretty good. Now, he can't hurt you with the long ball here. But he takes a rip. Look at those guns.
Palka swings like a guy you see in the old black and white films of Major League Baseball from like the 30s and the 40s.
That's right. He looks to me a lot like former White Sox Dan Pasqua. Same build, big forearm, big strong guy, left-handed power hitter.
Good fastball in on his hands. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Impressive, but foul. Whoa, look out. You see that?
Like there's a little scrum for
Yeah.
it.
There are certain places where someone would never expect to be threatened by a foul ball, and that was one of them.
This guy is taking some rips. This is how you pinch hit right here. Palka. Not getting cheated on any swing tonight. He's had 4.
3 balls, 2 strikes. He got his first big league hit at Kauffman Stadium back in April in the first game of a doubleheader and ended up with 4 hits in that game, including his first big league home run. Wow. I can imagine Peralta would be frustrated with that. That looked like a strike.
High.
That's exactly where you want it.
You would think. Must have been low.
So 2 walks. And now the double play is huge. And it's Peralta against Moncada. He is a much better hitter from this side of the plate. Escobar runs over near the tarp and didn't get it. Tough play. And he's already run into the railing in front of the White Sox dugout tonight.
He wanted it. Nice effort. Knows where he is. He knows exactly what to do on balls like that. He'll tell you he'd like a do-over on that one.
So Peralta again has it down to a strike. Salvi is emphasizing keep it down, and he does. Salvi tagged him out, so Peralta gets the job done. Ryan O'Hearn gets his first big league hit 2-run home run in the 5th inning. Brett Phillips gets his first Royals hit, a 2-run home run in the 7th inning. Danny Duffy goes 5 2/3 scoreless with 7 strikeouts. And Willie Peralta gets the save.
There's the O'Hearn family. Congratulations, guys. I'm glad you were able to